Hi, my name is Michael, or you can call me MBL Designs, and today I'm going to do an update video on my Lego Batcave project, which I started in, if I remember right, 2016? So, no, 2017 I mean. So I did do a update video back in 2017 that is really outdated at this point, but I will have a card up here for you guys to watch that if you'd like. But without further ado, I'll show you guys what I've come up with thus far with the Batcave project.
So here you can see an overview of the whole Batcave as I have it right now in LDD. For those who don't know, LDD is Lego Digital Designer, a digital building program from Lego themselves. So here you can see the overall plan I have for the Batcave. You can see the bottom level at the water level. You can see the second floor where we have the trophy room to the left, and then we have the turntable, which I'll go over coming up after this, in the middle. Then you can also see going on to the right we have a staircase leading up to the third floor where we have, for example, the Bat computer. So this is really massive. So if I remember right, physically right now I have about a third of the second level, which is basically from the turntable over to right where the staircase leads up to the second, or not the second floor, but the third floor. So I basically have a third of the second level done at this point. And then I do also have some different things like the Joker card, the giant penny, the trophy room, some of the parts for the lab on the water level on the left. So I have a few pieces here and there at the moment, but nothing is completely done on this because one of the major benefits of working on this project over a longer period of time is that Lego has the opportunity to release more new pieces, new printed parts, and all kinds of stuff that I can benefit from, considering I've been working on this since 2017. So that's a really good thing. But now when you've got an overview of the whole MOC as it is right now in LDD, why don't we take a closer look at the turntable for the Batmobiles.
So now when you've seen a bit of an overview of the whole MOC as it is in LDD at this point, I thought I would show you guys what I haven't built in the LDD form, which I pointed out was the turntable for the Batmobiles. So the overall concept with this is that I am having multiple modules basically. So this one is one of them, and in the end it is going to be more, or it's going to be a lot higher. So you see, for example, all these windows, I will have door frames and window frames going further down just to elevate it up, because this will be the second level, which you saw from my overview picture basically. But what is a turntable if not a working turntable? So right now I have the Batman v Superman Batmobile, which I modified from the official set. And you can see that the turntable is fully functional. So I will go over that mechanism, but the BVS Batmobile isn't the only one I will have on display. I will also have the 1989 one, and also the 1966 Batmobile. So all of the major movie Batmobiles, and that also includes the 1966 Batmobile because they did make a movie based on the Adam West Batman. So I am going off Lego's official models based on the 1966, 1989 and BVS Batmobiles. I might be modifying them to a certain degree like I did with the BVS Batmobile, and I have done a bit on the 1989 Batmobile as well. And I am hoping, it is kind of too late for Lego to do something like that, but maybe an anniversary set or something like that, but they have never really made a good minifigure sized tumbler from the Nolan trilogy. And that's like one of the main vehicles that I'm still missing, because they did do the one in 2008 and that's kind of oversized in my opinion. Then they did do the tan one in the Dark Knight Rises set with Bane, and that doesn't even look good in my opinion. So hopefully in the future Lego will do a better version of that, maybe from one of the, or from the upcoming Lego Batman 2 movie, for example. But that's something I'm hoping for. One really cool thing is that we are getting more and more of the live action Batmans that we've gotten throughout the years. So for example, we have Adam West, we have Michael Keaton, we have all of the Ben Affleck suits as well, we have Christian Bale. The only few we are missing are sadly the ones that people aren't really a fan of, but I would love to see them in Lego. So George Clooney and Val Kilmer's Batman, and with them also seeing their Batmobiles would be really cool in Lego. I know that the fans doesn't really like them, but they are a part of the Batman universe that we know and love, and without them we wouldn't have other interpretations of Batman that we have today. With that said, we also have the Batman with Robert Pattinson as well. Hopefully Lego will make sets based on that one as well. But let's go through this. So when it comes to this turntable, I did take some inspiration. For example, this whole pit crew area, or whatever you're supposed to call it, all of the red details I actually got from Batman v Superman. So his like pit, or not pit, but pit stop, or whatever you're supposed to call it, actually has a lot of red screens all around and stuff like that. So I got the inspiration from there. Now when I'm taking that off, you can clearly see that this is just a ton of just random colors and stuff like that. That's because you're not supposed to see it. I do, however, have 3 2x2 jumper plates on this side and on this side, so that just attaches quite easily, and I can detach it because the battery box is underneath this circle, which is just snot build with some inverted slopes, and then I have a round dish piece in the middle, and here you can see the bottom, which uses these quarter tooth gear circles, I think they're called, or something like that. But when I take that off, you can see that in here I have the powered up motor and then a battery box, and here we have the main gear that turns. So this is the only gear that turns, but then I have 3 more gears which are just loose connections, and they help turn the inner gear on the circle basically. And yeah, there isn't really much else to say about that, so you just reattach that there. Take this, you fold these out, attach this on like so. Attach these borders here so no minifigure come too close to the actual turntable. And the whole idea is that there is an overhang right here with this black part. The idea that I have is that the rock face from the bottom level will go up to like there. So it will cover these white pieces right there. And then just go down from there basically. And that's why I'm going to have to elevate this part later on, because this will be on the second level. So you can see in the corner right here, I have my Joker card and Giant Penny. So I thought I would bring those into and show you guys what I've done with those. So here we have the Joker card and the Giant Penny, which were two main things I really wanted to add to my trophy room, which isn't really a room but just a corner of the actual Batcave, which I showed you earlier in the overview. But these are two of the main thing that really stands out in my opinion and has appeared in almost every Batcave throughout the 81 years that Batman has existed, which is super cool, and I really wanted to do them justice. So the first thing I can show you is my first idea of this Joker card, which was quite saddening in my opinion, which you can see in this picture right here. It's a lot smaller and just a lot more horrible than this turned out to be. I'm so happy with how this turned out. And the really cool thing about it was that I was actually inspired by one of the big builds that Lego does for conventions and stuff like that I saw at Stockholm Comic Con. So I actually got inspired by this model right here, and took inspiration for the face right there, and instead of having it 3D like that model is, made it 2D basically, which turned out perfectly in my opinion. So I'm really happy with that. The only thing is that the eyes are 3D, and I haven't really solved that, because the thing with this model as well is that it's only 1 brick thick. So yeah, I haven't really managed to find a way to make that look flatter, because I still want to have this shadow around the eyes as well. But if you're looking at it from just straight on like you're doing right now, it looks really good in my opinion, and I couldn't really be more happier with it at this point basically. As you can see with both the Joker card and the Giant Penny is that I made these stands for them, which attaches in different ways for each of them. So considering that this is built using snot mostly, I had a snot connection with some clip pieces on the back, which attaches to these black parts, which then attaches to the stand itself. And comparing it to the Iron Penny, I just have some hinge plates on a stopper basically, so they can't fold all the way back basically. I showed you guys how my envision for the Joker card looked at first. I think I can also show you how my Giant Penny looked at first when I started deciding on the actual size back in 2017. I always had this frame for the actual penny, but the details in the middle of the actual penny, so Abraham Lincoln's face, was the thing that changed the most throughout the years. So having a look here you can see the old and new version of the Iron Penny, and in my opinion I think it's pretty clear which version is the better out of the two. And one of the main positive things with working on a project over multiple years like I am doing with this is, for example, that these pieces weren't as common, or I don't even think they existed in dark reddish or reddish brown back then, and they basically make up the whole face of Abraham Lincoln here. So I used them all around the corners and even in dark orange at the bottom here, and also these wedge plates right there. So it really benefits me to work on this over multiple years, because I don't think I would be able to do certain things if it wasn't for new pieces being introduced and stuff like that. So I'm really happy about that. But now we have gotten a look at how these two look. So I think I will bring out some of my other trophy room trophies and show you guys how the overall layout would look like in the end. Here you get a bit of an overview of how it would look. So the first thing I can point out is the fact that the young penny won't be standing on the floor of the Batcave. It will actually be elevated to about that height from rock wall, or from the rock wall on a bit of a cliff. And the really fun thing I thought I would do is use this. So if you've ever played one of the Lego Batman video games, this is the like grappling hook attachment thingy, or whatever you call it. So I'm thinking of having that on the actual cliff where the giant penny will be sitting on, basically, and then have the little circle at the ground where you put your minifigure and activate the grappling hook, basically. I already have that built in LVD, so I can show you guys how that looks right here. But that's something I'm really interested in doing as well, just referencing to as much as possible, which becomes super fun when it comes to Easter eggs like these. So, the Joker card, Giant Penny, and T-Rex are direct references to the comics, and has appeared in almost every Batcave throughout the many years of Batman's history. But these Easter eggs are more connected to the Lego world of things. And then I do have a reference right here. So with the DC minifigure series that we recently got, we did get Sinestro, one of the Yellow Lanterns. So I have a Yellow Lantern, and then the Yellow Lantern ring, because Batman actually became a Yellow Lantern. And we also have a minifigure of him as the Yellow Lantern as well. So I thought that was quite fitting. But then we do have references to the Lego side of things when it comes to Batman. So we have all of the port keys from Lego Dimensions, because Batman was one of the playable characters in that video game. Then we do have one of the mini kits from the Batman video games as well, which is quite an easy thing to actually build. And I just put a sticker from one of the Batman sets on this 2x2 round brick. And instead of using the inverted round tile on the bottom, I actually used a dish piece right here and then a bar so I could connect it, so it just looks like it's standing on the podium. And then on the other side we have the red brick, which is also a reference to the Lego video games. But then we have the piece of resistance and also the Phantom Zone projector from the Lego movie and the Lego Batman movie. So referencing to the Lego world of Batman, basically. And then you have my sig fig here as somewhat of a frame of reference when it comes to adding minifigure into the whole Batcave. And as you can see, the Batcave will be really massive when you compare it to minifigure size, which is my main objective with this project, is that you can't really go do something lackluster when it comes to the Batcave. It has to be big. So go big or go home, basically. But I'm really happy about how the trophy room is turning out and the references that I've managed to pull together so far. Next thing I'm going to take a look at is one of the different sections on the first level, on the water level, which is the lab, which I haven't really built that much, but I have built a few things that are really cool in my opinion. So here is what I have somewhat planned for the lab at this point. So the water will like appear somewhere around here or past the camera at this point, but then I will have the different docks for the bat boats. But on the side, this is what I have planned, which is some of the medic area right here with some analysis, and then a working table, because Batman is the great detective, and he does have to do some chemistry and try to figure out stuff and stuff like that. But a really fun thing that I wanted to add is something that I came up with, or not came up with, but was inspired by one of the Lego Batman video games. I think it was the second one where they actually showed that Batman had a vault of just kryptonite under his Batcomputer, which was a really fun concept, and it actually plays on the whole concept that Batman and Superman has been fighting for many years throughout the different years in comic books. So as you can see right here, I have the Superman logo and a vault and a crystal screen printing right there. So the idea is, right now I just have them in a bag on the back right here. But the idea is that I will have lights underneath the floor inside of the vault, which will light up the kryptonite so it glows really, really bright. Which, if I remember right, I have a picture of that right here. And yeah, basically a kryptonite vault for the Batcave, which is super fun in my opinion. You can also see right here that we have a few other things, for example, the mother boxes from Justice League. Then we also have some kryptonite blades, which we did see in the Lego Batman movie as well. We do also have a few screens here about Steppenwolf and the mother boxes also from Justice League. But that is somewhat of the idea I have for the lab of the Batcave. And as I said, there will be lights underneath the floor on the inside of the vault that lights up the kryptonite. But I will also have lights that light up the, above the lab basically, because it really needs lights. Because otherwise it would be very shadow, because it's in the corner and it has a roof over it and stuff like that. So I will incorporate lights throughout the whole model. So when it comes to the LDD file I do have of the Batcave on my computer, when I took that picture of the whole overview of the bottom level and the second level, and even the third level for that matter, my computer almost crashed. So the thing I've been doing when it comes to this project is building it in two parts. So I have the bottom level in one LDD file, and then I have this model in another LDD file. And some things aren't really possible to build as of yet. So for example, you can see that I don't have the turntable in the middle, and that's because the quarter tooth gear circles or whatever they're called that I use for the whole turntable, they aren't in LDD yet. So the thing with LDD is the fact that Lego used to support it really well, but over time they stopped supporting it on their regular basis like they did. So the way they are doing it now is whenever they feel like it, and it can be 1 year, it can be 2 years, it can be basically whenever. But I can't really show you guys, I would have really wanted to show you guys like a screen recording showing you through the LDD file as it is as of right now, but considering that the file is so big and it lags a lot, I'm just going to take screenshot and talk over them so you know what I'm talking about and you get a bit of an overview of what's happening. So I thought we would start over here by the Batcomputer. So let's take a look.
And as you can see right here, we have the back computer area. So from left to right, we have a prison cell. We have the Grey Ghost display. So this is a reference to Batman the Animated Series, where Bruce Wayne grew up with the TV show The Grey Ghost and idolized him as a hero, and that later on became the somewhat of the inspiration of him taking the role as Batman. Uh, that Grey Ghost outfit is just mashed up with just a gray fedora and no printing at all, because I haven't really found a torso that looks good for the Grey Ghost. It would be cool if Lego made an official minifigure of him, but I really doubt it. Next to that, we have a letter that's framed and put into the rock wall. That letter is from Thomas Wayne and was delivered to Bruce Wayne by no other than Barry Allen during the Flashpoint Paradox, where Barry Allen actually met Thomas Wayne as Batman from the Flashpoint Paradox timeline, and is one of the most heartfelt moments in comic book history, in my opinion, or at least Batman comic book history. Next to that will be the display case for the revolver that killed the Waynes. I'm really a big fan of the idea that Kevin Smith wrote in one comic where Bruce Wayne actually tracks down the gun that killed his parents and later on melts it down to be the protective metal underneath his bat symbol. So the weapon that destroyed his heart when his parents was murdered is the thing that protects his heart going forward. I think that's very poetic and I really love that concept. So that's somewhat of a hint towards the fact that Bruce bought the gun and is planning to use it for something in that manner, basically. Next to that, we have the Batcomputer, of course, which is my own design taking inspiration from the Lego Batman movie and using stickers and printed parts from the Lego Batman movie set and also the Lego Batman movie Dimension Pack. Uh, Next to that, we have the classic red phone from the 1966 series and other Batman medias. Next to that, we also have a teleportation device, so he can travel to the Watchtower. And this is one of my favorite things because when I said that I will reference things from Batman's history, that doesn't only mean official stories, because one of my favorite things growing up was watching Forest Fire and his stop motion videos with Batman. So this is actually a reference to the teleportation device that he uses in his animation in one of the stop motion videos that he has done. Here you can see a picture for reference how it looks in one of his stop motions. So I'm really happy about that because Forest Fire has been a really fun channel to watch when I was growing up. Next to that, we will actually have the bathroom. So the Batcave will have a bathroom with two toilets, and both of them are in black and yellow, the Batman colors. So I'm really happy about that as well. And yeah, that was this part of the Batcave. Next to that, I will have the gym, which is the place where Batman and the Bat family works out basically. So I'm really happy about that as well. And yeah, that's pretty much it for the upper level. So now when you've seen all of the digital things I have and the smaller minor bits that I have physically built, I thought I'd show you guys everything I have built physically so far when it comes to the actual modules. So this is an overview of all of the pieces I have right now. So you can see from left to right you have the turntable, then you just have some open floor space. You have the suit display for Batman, the Damian Wayne Robin, Batgirl, and also Nightwing. But next to that you don't really see from this angle is the evidence lockers that I have with different evidence from different Batman villains. So this is also another way for me to get in different Easter eggs and stuff like that. So I have a few more photos I can show you guys of that coming up, but yeah, to the right of that we have the Jason Todd memorial of his Robin suit and also the gears, so different batarangs and the grappling hooks and stuff like that. And then we have the staircase leading up to the second floor, or third floor actually. But let's have a closer look at all of the different details. And as you can see right here, we will get a closer look. Right there, I have the different evidence lockers. Then we'll have the suit displays, Batman, Damian Wayne Robin, Batgirl, Nightwing, Jason Todd Memorial, and all of the Bat gear. And then the stairs leading up. Continuing on with the evidence lockers or display cases I also forgot that I also added these black display boxes in front of them, which features other references to different things from the Rogues Gallery of the Batman. And something I really liked about this idea is that it's somewhat of a Where's Waldo type of idea, that a person can look at this model and point out different references and stuff like that, but depending on how much knowledge they have of Batman, basically. But it's something that I really am happy with how many different Easter eggs I've managed to include so far. And if you have any suggestion on Easter eggs I should include and stuff like that, please tell me in the comments. But something I've heard a lot of people suggest that is something that I'm not going to do is a costume display of all of the different Batman variant suits that Lego has done so far. That is something that I'm not going to do, sadly. It's something that's really cool that Lego have been able to do, especially with the Lego Batman movie, but it's something that I don't really want to put my focus on at this point in my Batcave. But I really appreciate all of the feedback that I've gotten so far on this project, and I hope you all enjoyed this update on my Batcave. And if you have any suggestions on things you would like to see and stuff like that, or any questions on my progress so far, which I haven't, I've basically told you guys everything by this point, but if you have any question, don't be afraid to ask in the comments. But except for that, please rate, comment, and subscribe if you want to see more, and I will see you guys in another video. Thank you for watching.